welcome on in, guys, to episode 1 of the Stay Bricking Show. I'm Christian Dvorak. I'll be your host today. I see the chat's already going. So this is the first one. We got some great giveaways tonight. I saw someone already mention, yes, US only for the physical prizes. In the future, there will be digital giveaways. So for this stream, no, but in the future, there will be digital giveaways where that's not applicable. So I figure we'll start this stream out by, number one, who am I? What is All Out Brick? What was the inspiration for this live stream and all of that? So I am Christian. I've been doing this with All Out Brick for really 4 years under the name All Out Brick. I've been going back, almost 10 years at this point in terms of when I first started. A question I get a lot is this my full-time thing? No, it's not. I'm a structural engineer during the day and then come home and do this. So it is not my full-time job. All Out Brick, it was initially started way back almost 10 years ago. Like I said, the first thing I did was instructions for Cave God's AT-AT. I had tried to build it through Lego Digital Designer. If any of you guys have tried to do the same, it was a nightmare through the Lego Digital Designer instructions. So I contacted Cave God, was like, hey, what do you think about some instructions for this? And he kind of gave me like a go for it type of thing, and it worked out. And then after that, I did more ESVs Nebulon B, and it just kept rolling. And then All Out Brick started with a remodel of that Cave God AT-AT, and then it even turned into physical instructions, turned into even box sets with numbered bags. And then one day Disney took the whole thing down because it's Star Wars IP, and I guess they really didn't like that. So after that point, it kind of turned really just into the content, which for the most part, you guys I'm sure know that, it was mostly Bionicle. This series Matanui Monday just kind of took off out of nowhere. And that's been a bulk of the content over the previous 4 years, and it is coming back in not even a couple months at this point. We're already in July. It'll be coming back in 1 month. So I promise G2 is coming. Let's pop into the chat. Looks like a lot of let's go. Welcome in, everyone. Brickmaster Harry, nice to have you here. Is anyone else seeing some lagging? I see Limbo says it's lagging. All right, awesome. Looks like everyone's all good there. So about the live stream, the inspiration for it is really for just live engagement with all of you guys. I think a ton of the spaces that we see, a lot of the videos we see in this whole YouTube community is a lot of reaction videos, a lot of, something gets leaked, reaction videos, something gets leaked, reaction. That's a lot to keep up with, and I think it's a lot better just to do it in a live format. We can go back and forth. We'll have a Q&A at the end today for however long we feel like going. But that's kind of the whole inspiration, is just live engagement with you guys. I think conventions are a great place where they have a lot of that, but now in the world that we have with live streaming, it's easy enough to pop on here once a week and we'll have a whole event out of it. So that's the whole idea behind it. Where it's going is, again, it depends, obviously, how much is coming out and what's going on, but also we'll have live streams for like live builds, maybe a reaction, depending if it's a super big, release or something like that. But generally should be just about every week we'll have something like this, and we'll cover the general news that's coming out, favorite MOCs of the week. We'll do some giveaways. We'll do Q&A sessions. All that in general, probably around 60 to 90 minutes. I think the time slot might be a little bit different than what this one is set up as. I think it'll probably shift a little bit earlier on Saturdays and not into the 8 o'clock on Saturday night. So that's all the background we got for the stream. I think let's go ahead and get into some general news and discussions from this week. So I think personally the biggest thing that happened this week was we got introduced to the Desert Skiff. We finally got official images for it, and so let's go ahead, take a look there, and let me just pull this up. One more there. There we go. All right. So obviously this is in line with the Jabba sail barge. That is kind of the big reason that the set is coming out. We saw it with the ATST, with the UCS AT-AT, and essentially this is going to be the same thing. It's a companion set. I think the figure lineup is fantastic. There's no denying that. The big thing that, I personally agree with is this $80 price point. An $80 price point for this set, which August 1st release, I don't know. I don't know if 80 can quite do it. 558 pieces. So if you're someone who goes by like a price per piece ratio, this is not going to be it. I think the actual Skiff looks great. I think the Sarlacc pit looks okay depending on what angle. I mean, at this point, we've also seen full reviews for this set. Granted, I think a lot of them were, you know, they were land sponsored and all of that, and we don't need to get into all of that story. But, you know, the Skiff looks great. The Sarlacc pit, I think, looks good from a side profile. You can see a lot of the teeth detail in there. I don't know if $80 really hits it for me. David, yeah, a bit small, but the minifigures are cool. I completely agree with you. The minifigures, and I think another thing to point out with the minifigures here is that they don't clash with the rumored figures for the UCS Jabba Sail Barge that we're going to see in, I believe, October. We've got, in this set, we've got Luke Skywalker, we've got Boba Fett, Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Lando. None of them are rumored to be in that UCS Jabba Sail Barge. That set, I believe, is supposed to be, obviously, Jabba, a Gamorrean guard, Jabba's henchman, Klaatu, R2, 3PO, Hutt Slayer Leia, which, honestly, very shocked by. I'm surprised that we haven't seen that in a while since Disney acquired Star Wars, but I guess this will be the first one. And I see right now, I forgot to bring up, obviously, we've got the anniversary figure in this set, Nyan Num. And he looks great. This is the first time we're seeing him. We've seen the species before, but never this molded head. I think that's the big separator here. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but something just feels a little goofy about his entire face being the same shade. I feel like there should be just some sort of accent print on here somewhere. I don't know if it's just the render that came out this way, but it just looks something's a little goofy. It still looks incredible, and I think almost about as good as we could ask for. I don't know. Maybe it's just the lighting too. But anyways, this will be the 25th anniversary figure for this. Obviously, previous sets throughout this year have included one as well. And we've, at this point, we've only got one more. I think they actually updated it to, it was originally going to be 6 for the 25th anniversary, and now it's going to be 7. So I think we've got the young Leia coming out as well as a part of that, the droid set with a couple of different ones, and then young Leia's put in. Harry says you gotta head out, but thank you, man. Appreciate having you. Hopefully I'll talk to you pretty soon. Destiny, Boba Fett has exclusive arm prints. Does anyone else know if that's the case? I'm not sure if this is, I know there was a little bit of a commotion because, this is actually the Empire Strikes Back version of Boba Fett based on the armor color and printing and all that, but this is a Return of the Jedi set very clearly, so that's certainly something. All right, and again, we see some functions with the Sarlacc pit. You know, you can fit Boba Fett in there, of course, and if you have a Book of Boba Fett version of the figure, you can pull him back out. Boba no cape. Yeah, you're right. There is no cape for Boba. I haven't seen Return of the Jedi in quite a long time. So I don't know. It's not small. I just think $80 is a little bit steep for this one. That's just my opinion on it. I think what it's interesting to see. I think I'm planning on purchasing the Jabba Sail Barge pretty immediately, probably right at that October 1st, because there's that rumored Luke Skywalker's lightsaber that comes with it as well. Jack seems like such an oversight to include the Empire. I agree. And what's surprising to me about this is normally with original trilogy sets, they're on their game. Like, we would expect something like this if it was like an episode 1, 2, or 3 set. No, it's just the way that it's been. But with an original trilogy, I'm a little bit surprised too. And I don't know. Does anybody know when the last time there has been a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett? Like, is this something they would have to completely whip out a new print for? I'm not entirely sure. We've also, I think, a lot of people have really dove into this one. So, you know, moving on, we've had, I guess, a leak. I don't know exactly how this picture came to surface, but I think one of the most anticipated sets for the community has been the Jedi Bob Starfighter. If you don't know anything about Jedi Bob, he was a part of a 2002, I think, set. in which it was the Republic gunship, and they put in this just kind of off-key Jedi Bob, and he kind of created his own lore. I've actually got a snippet here from the Visual Dictionary, one of them, and, you know, the end of the Clone Wars sees most Jedi killed and the Jedi Temple ransacked, with many records lost. All we know, whose name may have been Bob, is that he once flew on a Republic gunship. That set, 2002 again. Very first Republic gunship. I never had this set. Kind of wish I did. These two Super Battle Droids are pretty famous in there, but Jedi Bob, everyone has been kind of like, I don't know if he's been like community joke or whatever, but everyone's been very hyped for his return, and now we finally get it in the form of his Starfighter. Actually talking about the Starfighter, I think what's great about it is this takes on a very classic look. I think this square piece does it. This gray almost looks like the original dark gray and not the dark bluish gray that, of course, we've had for decades now. So it does really remind me of those early 2000s sets. I think they really nailed that. I think using the yellow skin tone was much better than if they decided to make him flesh tone or something like that. So it is a classic set. It's a part of, I believe it's Rebuild the Galaxy, I think the name is. So it'll be interesting what the actual story is with Jedi Bob. We saw like a 1-second clip of him in a trailer a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago or so. So it'll be interesting to see exactly where that's going. I personally not super pumped about it. I'll get it. I think it's a $40 price point, so I'll pick it up at some point probably, but I'm definitely not one in the camp that I'd be going nuts, like first one at the store lined up to get the Jedi Bob Starfighter. I'm curious, do you guys think it's going to sell out right away? Like, is this going to be one of those ones? We just saw it with the Captain Rex Microfighter that just completely sold out right away. So at this point too, I don't know if you guys have seen the link in the description, but we've got some awesome giveaways today. There's a QR code you can scan and you can enter it that way as well. Again, it's continental US only. They're all physical items, no charge for you on shipping or anything like that. You just got to enter the giveaway, fill out the form, and we're going to be giving a Tusken Raider brickhead out, a Commander Cody brickhead, and the grand prize is, this guy back here. The ATTE. Now, I figured, why not go a little extra for the first episode? I would not expect something like that in every single giveaway. M&R Vlogs, love the setup. Thank you, man. It was a beast to put together. It's been just about a year of putting this all together. Finally actually utilizing it. So it's been great. Thanks, man. Thanks for popping in. But some great giveaways today. Like I said, in the future, there'll be some digital ones for you guys who aren't in the continental US, so we can take part in that as well. We'll be doing that towards the very end of the stream. We'll just hit all 3 in a row, but you can enter at any point. All right, so let's continue on with the news from this week. Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea. Now, this one is controversial, and, it's for very much the same reason as the Desert Skiff. It's $55, and this is the entire thing. I don't know. Again, loaded with figures, but I just don't see the value of $55. I don't see it. And I think the land reviews have started to come out for this one as well, and there were certainly some that were very, I think, over the top in promoting this one. All of these are stickers as well, just to throw on a little salt on the wound. They don't even give you any printed parts. Again, the minifigures are incredible. We got a Night Trooper, Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's got dual molded legs. First time in a while we've seen him. Ezra Bridger, Ahsoka Tano, and then Morgan Elsbeth. Unbelievable figures. But Akrius just said it. Akrius Productions in the chat. Yeah, Enoch is missing. I wonder if they ever considered this Night Trooper to be Akrius, but or to be Enoch, but I certainly would have wished it that way. I mean, I wonder if we got a good close-up. I think we do here. I think they obviously went and did all of this printing. There's gold on the helmet in the area it would be. Like, why not? We've already got 4 other exclusive figures to this set. Why not just make it 5? At that point, I still don't think I would necessarily say it's worth the $55 price tag. Again, all you're really paying for here is this gray base plate and 5 figures. Money's the answer on Enoch. I mean, are you saying, like, in the sense of they know people will buy it anyways, or you're saying they're too cheap to throw it in there, spend a couple extra bucks to give us all the figures? There's a couple functions with it. I think people have compared it to the Duel on Mustafar set from way back. A couple of lightsaber duel sets, there's some spinning action. There's a gear here that you can hit on either side that makes these characters spin, and some minor play functions. There's also a ramp where they say you can recreate Ezra's jump. If you've seen the Ahsoka series, he obviously jumps onto Thrawn Star Destroyer and goes from there. Yeah, needs a new helmet. You're probably right. You're probably right on that one too. Again, $55. Wait for this to go on sale. It will at some point. It's an August 1st release. I don't know when it will go on sale, but just be patient with it, and well, technically both, but more so budget constrained probably. Yeah, I wonder what exactly their profit ratios or their profit margins have to be on the sets, how much they're given in. Because I wonder how much that really plays into too. I mean, these are all stickers, and to not get a single printed part, especially, I mean, these curved ones on the base here, I can imagine those absolutely suck to apply. That's probably not a fun time. So a couple controversial between the Desert Skiff, and really just controversial because of pricing. I don't think anyone would necessarily argue that the sets themselves aren't good. I think, plain and simple, they're not bad sets. The figures are loaded. Some of the best figure collections and sets that we're probably going to have this year. And again, with the Desert Skiff, what I really like is that it will pair very nicely with the Jabba sail barge in terms of there's no duplicate figures. And again, with the Ahsoka, we're just overpriced a little bit, and that's a little bit more the disheartening thing. Shifting away from reveals a little bit, this is a little bit more of just a general news. LEGO has awarded their global media agency as Publicis 1. This occurred earlier this week, and it was an 18-month-long pitch, they said, and essentially what that means is they're going to oversee their media budget, which some people estimate is worth about $400 million. And Publicis 1, they're a massive brand. They handle a ton of these large brands. I mean, like Coca-Cola, I think is one of them, Samsung. They do a ton of them, and now they've got LEGO. So in terms of what this means for the LEGO group, honestly, I think we can probably just expect to see some more collaborations with maybe some parties we wouldn't expect them to. I remember I was going through Publicis 1's portfolio, and they had shown this this highlight of Jimmy Fallon had used Samsung phones to create a segment for his show, and that was done by Publicis. So I think that they're probably going to be more involved with that sort of outreach than it would to say creators in the space are going to get a lot more. I mean, I think the one that comes to the top of my head is Solid Brick Studios had done a Daro mock, and I believe that was a collaboration with LEGO. I wouldn't expect to see a super big boost there. I just think it'll be maybe your atypical person or other content creators. You can see it sometimes with UCS sets. One of my favorite Star Wars YouTubers is Hello Greedo, and he got the A-Wing and the Venator just randomly. He's never done a LEGO video before, but he did those, and so I think some of those collaborations will be a little bit more common, is what I would expect out of that. Thirsty for Chicken, nice sealed Tahunga in the background. I still have Maku sealed and Happy Meal. Oh, you got the box with it? That's pretty sweet. But the rest were lost to time. Yeah, I had these 6 guys behind me here, and was like, I don't necessarily know what to do with these poly bags. And it's funny, MNR's on here. I saw you had you chatted, I think it was Michael's, for your poly bag displays, and so I found a slightly bigger one because these are a little bit bigger than the regular minifigure poly bags, and they're great. They're just 1-inch deep shadow boxes, and yeah, I love them. They're one of my earliest memories with Bionicle, and I vividly remember trying to get all of them at McDonald's when they first came out. So those were definitely one that I wanted to keep up for a while here. Man, this has been a massive reveals week. So jumping back into some more reveals, we had the Onyx Cinder, which I doubt many of you are familiar with the name, but it comes from the Skeleton Crew show, which will be coming out. The release date, I couldn't tell you, but we got our first pictures of that set. And first impressions, I think it looks cool. I think if any of you guys would agree with me, immediate Knights of Ren transport. Immediate relation to this. I never built this set. I have only seen the Rise of Skywalker maybe like 3 times, but immediately that's where my head went. I've also seen like UCS versions of the Night Buzzard, so it's just the color scheme, the overall. I think this front of the ship, the shape, just kind of is really reminiscent. Obviously, we don't really know much about the Skeleton Crew, so it's gonna be tough to judge, you know, how accurate is it, all that stuff. The only image we have of the Onyx Cinder is this one here, but I think it looks cool. I think the characters, the minifigures look like they're pretty nice. It looks like Jod. These are a little bit tough to read here. Back of the box, you can see as well. Completely opens up, a little small interior, some functions. Pretty good playset. The price point for it, let's double check on that price point real quick. I want to say it was $140, I think. I think it was 140 at least. 140 August 1st release. So I think it's 1,325 pieces is the total piece count. Much better value than we saw with the other ones. That we're loaded with that kind of price range. We've got obviously the Star Destroyer coming up. We've got this one. We're loaded with that kind of price range, I think. And just Lego in general, that $100 to $180 price point. But again, we'll see when the actual content itself comes out how I feel about it. But that set got released, so we're almost out of Star Wars sets for the entire year, I know, at this point. Shifting away from Star Wars this year, or this week, we also had a Lego Ideas set come out, or I guess get revealed, and that is the Jaws set, not the Onyx Cinder. We'll pull that down. This Jaws set I think looks sweet. I've actually never seen Jaws. I don't know if that's like sacrilege at this point, but I've actually never seen it. I know, of course, a lot of the references and all that, but I think the set itself looks great. This is an idea set. Lego Ideas generally knocks it out of the park, I think, for their hit rate's got to be high up there. David said, I'm starting to remember how expensive Legos are. They certainly are, and it's interesting because they're creating these awesome sets, but very quickly you find out it's like, man, these I just can't get all of them, and you start to just pick. It almost makes you feel like a kid again. Of they were much cheaper sets, but yeah, you couldn't pick them all up. So same problem. We thought we'd be solved when we were older and we have a lot, more money at our hands, but apparently not. But this Jaws set is great. The first time I actually saw this image, I was a little worried that was all we were going to get out of Jaws, but going through the photos here, I think this is what really makes this one for me, is you can display the shark separately. I think Bruce, do I have that right? The name's Bruce. Very cool release, Jaws on July 4th week. Actually, yeah, I was wondering, I don't know when Shark Week is this year. Normally it's like August, I think. Something like that. But yeah, pretty good timing with it. The figures, we're going to have to go straight to the names. Like I said, I've never seen Jaws. So we've got Chief Martin Brody, Matt Hooper, Sam Quint, and all right, nickname Bruce. All right. Not bad. I think we're getting a good value here with this set. 1,500 pieces, $150, which is surprising to me considering it is an IP. Spielberg named the shark after his lawyer. Did he really? I say you should watch Jaws after the stream. It's a perfect summer movie. Maybe. The night's young. take a look, see if we can get a little bit of features here. All right, so it looks like the top half of Bruce comes off. You can stick him in the display. I do wish they put a picture of the boat in that display. It almost looks like a diorama set. I wish they put something in there. At least says the movie took place on July 4th week. Okay, that starting to make more sense there. Going back, so I wish that there was a picture of the actual boat displayed in this diorama without Bruce in the water. What does that look like? Or does the boat now shift to the middle of this diorama? Do you just not put it on at all? I would imagine this entire back half without Bruce sitting in there would be a little awkward. Otherwise, I mean, great set. Again, I think we're so loaded. I think that this is a great shot right here. I think the size is there. Let's actually see the dimensions. 24-inch depth, 8 inches wide, 14 inches tall. So I think they nailed this one. Just with all of the sets, there's a lot of saturation in the Lego market right now in the summer. Probably will pick it up at some point. August 6th, with early access August 3rd to August 5th. I don't think I'll be picking it up in that range, but maybe at some point. We got a couple years on the shelf life. Thirsty for Chicken says, Jaws and Ninjago Source Dragon are the sets of the year for me. Now, when you're saying sets of the year, are you saying like your best of the best or your favorite? Or are you saying sets of the year is like, those are, I guess I just kind of answered my own question. Didn't I? Think so. All right. So, little quick break from Star Wars. Now we're going to jump right back to it. The UCS Razor Crest is back on sale. This has happened a couple times now, and it's down to $450, 24% off on Amazon. So if you were thinking about getting this set, now's the time to do it. I don't know if there's going to be any sort of promotion come Lego Shop, come Black Friday time, or if they do any sort of massive VIP weekend or anything like that. I think now would probably be the time for you to get it if you're thinking about it. I wouldn't hesitate. It's a great deal at this price point. I built this set. I don't have it anymore. It's a great build. If you're a fan of The Mandalorian, it's got everything you could possibly want. Great figures. I think the one gripe with the figures is, boy, I am forgetting his name. The Mythrol didn't have a molded head, which I wish was a little different. But otherwise, go look at mock versions of the Razor Crest. You're not going to find them being much different than what this set is. And normally that's not the case with mocks. Normally with mocks, they're on a different level. They cost a lot more, which is, that part's probably still true. But they don't look much different than this. One case, who is one of my favorite mock builders, he does some incredible stuff. He crushed his, but it doesn't look that much different. And I don't think the size is much different than what this one is. So I think the official set is actually the way to go. And at $455, I would say this is the time for you. The shipping, a little bit delayed, ships within 1 to 4 weeks. If you were waiting this long to get the set, 1 to 4 weeks shouldn't really bother you that much, in my opinion. Just my 2 cents here. Did anyone in the chat, anyone have this set? Again, I had it when it first came out 2 years ago, so it's not like it's going to be there for much longer. Anyways, it's going to retire probably not too long. So again, if you're thinking about it, this would be the time for me. Let's catch up on the chat here. So Flame Girl Play says, so what's going on here? I'm a bit late to the show from recording a game. Well, welcome in. Essentially, we're just going over some news from the week. Later on, we'll do some Q&A. There's some giveaways, some awesome sets to give away today as well. But right now, we're just going through the news of the week. And the next part, we're almost wrapped up with that, is the Avengers Helicarrier, which is another case of, is this price fair? I say no. 509 pieces for $80, and essentially it looks like it's the same size as what our Super Star Destroyer, our executive class Star Destroyer, I guess they labeled it, mid-eye scale. Looks very similar to that size. Slightly overpriced. awesome set. I mean, digging way back to the original Avengers movie, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Age of Ultron. I don't think it's in any other sets after Ultron. I think. Bethany says you could modify your custom Naboo Starfighter to make it look like from Mando Season 3. So there actually is a version of that, and I'm so disappointed because this is, I mean, this is like a trademark of the collection here. There's a Venator actually sitting above it, so we got some prequel ships going. But there actually is a version of that MOC where it is the Mando Season 3 version. There's, I think, a little bit less chrome, maybe. And then that whole light bluish gray. I don't think it would be an easy swap. Already have it. David Hernandez, no figs. So you definitely are referring to this Avengers Helicarrier. Nope. Just like we saw with those Star Wars sets, no figs. So at least it's consistent across themes there. I still... With this one, I'd probably put Nick Fury. That you can't go wrong with Nick Fury with this set, right? Thirsty for Chicken says, oh, I thought that was a UCS set. Thank goodness it's not, for my wallet's sake. So that's a bit... I'm not sure why we don't get figures. I actually still have to pick up the ones that released this year. The Invisible Hand, the Millennium Falcon, and the Tantive. I think that's all of them. I got the Executive Class Star Destroyer, the Super Star Destroyer, but I would definitely think that they should have gone with figs. So I think that's, that's just about all the news I had for here. I think something I want to show is we haven't shown a lot of love to Bionicle. And if you know this channel, you know it's a heavy Bionicle channel. It just is. It's not a just Bionicle channel, but we're very heavy with Bionicle. And this is my favorite thing I've seen this week. This is it. I absolutely love this. So I'm going on Twitter, X, whatever you want to refer to it as. And I see this. Today I turned 30, time for my socket joints to wear out. First of all, this cosplay is unbelievable. This Takanuva is fantastic. Look at this. He's it looks like he's sipping on some Jack Daniels there for his 30th. Man, this is truly unbelievable. This is the best Bionicle cosplay I think I've ever seen. This absolutely crushed it. Give this guy all the awards at whatever convention he's going to. Takanuva. And what's interesting is his wife actually had done a Gali. I was scrolling through his profile, and she had done a Gali, and this is a reference to Bionicle lore, if you know that. Man. And so they are back to back. This is sweet. I don't know, how does one get one of these? How do you think they made these? 3D printed, I would guess. That'd be a lot of material for 3D printing, though. Flame Girl plays, also, I've been seeing that cosplay all day. Yeah, I saw it for the first time yesterday. I was like, how have I not seen this before? This is incredible. But the Gali and the Takanuva, like, if you guys need a Leiwa, like, gladly, that seems like the perfect Bionicle day. Yeah, Bionicle Day 8/10, August 10th is always Bionicle Day, for those of you not familiar. 810 bio. Get it? Makes sense. That is the best thing I saw this week. I normally would save that slot for like a mock highlight or something like that, but this is by far the best thing that I saw this week. And the replies to the tweet are even better. I mean, it seems like it's getting traction. The last time I saw it did not have 156 replies. 30th birthday, my knees, what did you do to me? No, there was one. Here it is. Dude's knees right now. This is great. Those later Bionicle sets, those joints just completely cracked. So this is absolutely perfect. Oh man, someone get Takanuva WD-40. Yeah, I agree with you. 30. Are your knees supposed to be? I'm not. Everyone says that it's going to be so terrible once you're 30. I'm not looking forward to it at all. I still got plenty of time before that, but man, this is the part of the Bionicle community that I absolutely love. It's so alive. Absolutely electric stuff. Again, how do we get one of those? How do we eventually get to 7? Obviously, you know, they got Gali and Takanuva covered, but there's 5 more Toa that need to be filled in. Not even lime green. Bionicle Day is a day before my birthday. Oh, that's hilarious. That's awesome. So I guess your birthday's on a Sunday this year. Congrats. Always great when they land on the weekends. Just catching up on the the chat here. Bruv said sipping through the head. Yeah, that was it's so funny. He had the cap on. I did notice that, but yeah, sipping straight through the mask hole. Oh, it's great. It's absolutely great. So many of my sets have that issue. Is it true that Bionicle will have a new launch in 2020? That is completely speculation. Not that I would hear anything. There's nothing to believe that it actually is. Every single year someone says, Bionicle's coming back next year, Bionicle's coming back next year. We have yet to see it since 2015. I don't think it'll actually ever come back, to be quite honest with you. If it does, I'll be the first one in line to pick up those sets and review them. I don't see it coming. I really don't. Unfortunately. At this point, I mean, I think it's a great time to kind of shift over into Q&A. We're just naturally shifting into Bionicle discussion anyway. So go ahead and load up the chat, whatever questions. So this one, is it true Bionicle will launch in 2001? Well, it did launch in 2001. Chef goes, what is your overall favorite bonk? So favorite questions always get me. Is it the best or favorite? So if my favorite are the Manas. Those are my favorite. The remote control function, the 2001 nostalgia, I absolutely love it. The best, Brutaka. Brutaka is the absolute best there. But in terms of my favorite, that would be the Manas. Again, I'm very heavily biased towards 2001 to 2003. That's what I grew up with. Those are the sets that I saw in the Shop at Home catalog and was like, yes, I need that. So I'm just naturally always going to be more biased towards those years. But it has been great through the Matsunui Monday series, just going through all of those and getting to sets that I never had as a kid. And there's definitely interesting getting to some of them and thinking, you know, what would those be like if I had those as a 7-year-old, as an 8-year-old? I mean, we'll never know, but fun stuff. Tiny Gray says, did you keep any of the Bionicles or did you sell them all? I need to catch up on Matsunui Mondays. Just about all of them I did clear out just to make some space. Toa Matsunui was sticking around. These ones stick around. Just off to the side of those as well is the 2023 gift with purchase, Tahu and Takua. I wish I was able to keep more. Now I'm currently stocking up on G2 as we're getting closer to that. So I wish I could keep more. I do still have a bin of Bionicle, a ton of them from when I was a kid. They're actually those same ones. So those I still have a large bin of Bionicle, but the sets from Matsunui Monday, no, I don't have those anymore, unfortunately. Let me see what we've got. Toa Kopaka is the sickest Toa, changed my mind. I mean, him and Leiwa, man, those are definitely my top two. I'd put Leiwa first. What was the best wave of Bionicle in your opinion? Best wave? Huh. That one? The Toa Metro. If we're considering that a wave. Those ones completely changed the game when they came out in 2004. Absolutely crushed it. They kind of differed from the previous 3 years in terms of they weren't these vivid bright colors anymore. They were more muted. We had shoulder pads. We had different articulation. The pieces were a little bit more intricate in my opinion. It was a little bit more seamless of a build. I think those, especially considering at the time they came out, those would be it from right. What are you up to outside of the channel and Lego, says Limbo. So I'm a structural engineer. That is my full-time job. So that is what I do outside of Lego. I know I haven't been super consistent with Lego in probably a while. Matsunui Monday G2 is going to be coming back in a month. So that'll be fun to get consistent with those reviews again. And then obviously with the launch of this, I'm looking forward to the weekly hangouts that we're all going to have. But outside of that, you know, just hanging out, you know, nothing too crazy, just working and then building Lego when I got the time. He says, how fast can you build a bow rock? I can definitely do it by memory. 2-3 minutes tops. Absolutely. Jared says, do you think we'll see any more remade Bionicle sets similar to the 2023 Tahu and Takua sets from the Lego Icons line? I would probably, I don't think we will. I would like to. I don't see that. I think they did open the door there for, I think a lot of people got excited, and myself included, of like, what if we had a whole line? And there's people that have done MOCs with them, actually. You can find them all over. People actually even did custom stickers for all of the other Toa faces. So those are out there. I think it would be interesting to see what like a whole 2001 line of Bionicle would look like in this fashion. Actually, I'll grab it real quick. So this is what we're referring to, if anyone hasn't seen it. Got our Toa Tahu. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be really interesting. I personally would want to see it. I've seen the MOCs, I've seen the custom stuff, so I don't think we'll get it for real. Lego Icons line would be an interesting one to put it in. Personally, we got the gift with purchase. Stoked about it. All right, Thirsty for Chicken says, I've been thinking about this recently. What's your opinion on Lego doing Technic Bionicle instead of System? It started in Technic and it's still around, so why not? I think the only limitation to that is they don't really do CCBS figures anymore. I think the last we maybe saw them was when they did the Star Wars buildable figures. Now we've got like some mechs coming out, and I think that's the close relation to this is, yes, we're getting mechs, so kind of similar style builds. If people get into those, will they get into Bionicle ones? We'll see. I think Technic would be the right way to do it. Is someone who grew up with Bionicle, that's how I would want to see it. But if we got it in any capacity, I'm gonna be pumped about it. Flame Girl Play says, have you gotten a chance to mess with G2 sets yet? I have them. There's actually almost all of them. Not all of them as in G2. Jeez. All of them for like the first couple videos are just off camera here. So I haven't actually built them yet or started the reviews for them yet, but I have been picking them up and looking forward to it, but not yet. I had them in 2015 when they first came out. I think my opinion then would be much different than what they would be right now. I remember back then I wasn't too big of a fan of them because they were so different from the Bionicle that I knew, and then it was like, Bionicle's coming back, and then I got those and was like, this is not Bionicle. So I think my opinion will be a lot better this time around. If you were to repurchase any of the G1 sets, what would be a few of your picks? Toamata, I definitely would want to have those. Turaga, I have a couple of Turaga. The dream is to have all of 2001 sealed somewhere. I have got 2 Turaga. Obviously, we got the 6 McTaurin. The rest of them are silly expensive at this point, so who knows when I'll get to them. That's definitely one. Other repurchases, any of the battle vehicles, to be quite honest with you. The Toa Mari, those are some sweet ones. The Metronui Matoran are actually one of the ones I actually really like, but I feel like don't get a ton of love. I remember very clearly those coming out and all of Metronui getting announced and all that. So those would be some of them. Who has the best wings? Lewa Nuva, Toa Matau, or KFC Bucket? So I can't have KFC wings. I have celiac, so I can't have fried chicken. So definitely not KFC. Matau was just for the movie performance, man. Set wise, Lewa Nuva. Lore wise, give me Matau. Who's more handsome, Kongu or Gadunka? We don't. That's an easy one. All right. Thirsty for Chicken says, will you ever review the system playsets? I will. I'll do it after G2. With G2 coming up, that's going to be the focus, and then the Bionicle playsets will come afterward. They are on the dock. I think it'll push into like early, mid 2025, but yeah, they're coming. Favorite Bionicle song? Move Along by All American Rejects. The newer Ninjago Titan mechs have been scratching my Bionicle itch as they come out. Yeah, again, mechs have been coming out, and I think they're very similar to the Tahu gift with purchase here. So I'll keep an eye on if those mechs really stick around. Maybe. I'm not going to put it in likely just yet, but what what is it? Would you buy a Lego set of 100 miles of tangled string that you have to untangle? No. Like the Lego string pieces? Absolutely not. That's great though. Tiny Gray says, it's a shame I live in the UK. I would have sent you some G1 bonks of the videos. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. There were a couple that I ended up, Karzani was one that I had to reach out for. I had found someone because those were just impossible to get. And in order to get one, that is the route. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. I love hearing where everybody's from that watches the channel. It's always fun to see that it's not all just US based. Will you be reviewing the unreleased G2 Makuta? I managed to pick one up, and it's probably my favorite Lego piece. Maybe once all the official sets are done, because if official sets are going to be the #1 priority, let's get that straight. Then we'll do play sets, and then maybe. I was always curious why there wasn't a G2 Makuta. We had like the a couple villains in there, but no. Hey, we're Celiac Brother says thirsty for chicken. All right, cool. So you can relate. So you can understand that KFC ain't it. Did you get any Power Miners or Space Police sets from back in the day? I actually never have. I've seen a ton of people bring these ones up. They're coming more and more frequent that they're popping up in my algorithm. But no, I never had any. Space Police. I actually got to think. Let's take a look at Space Police. Probably should specify Lego in here. Lego Space Police. When did these release? Let's actually check the brick link. Space Police 1. That's what we're going to go with. 1. 1989. Whoa. No. I might have had pieces for these. I had the very first Lego bin I had was a lot of 80s and 90s pieces, insectoids. God, the Ice Planet one. I can't remember it off the top of my head right now, but so maybe there was some pieces for it, some minifigures for it, but that one. Hello from Honduras. Oh, it's sweet. Oh, I love it. Hi. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining in. Which do you prefer more, the Anika or the Mari? Set-wise, the Mari. Lore-wise, and like, you know, to me, the Anika for that Move Along commercial, that thing was sweet. Still is. Plans for the future of All Out Brick Enterprises says not today. This is going to be a big part of it. A lot of live streaming. Obviously, this is the very first one, so we've got some bugs. We'll get in the flow of things as things continue. Have guests on is going to be in the future. That's all in the capabilities, so this will be a part of it. Set reviews, they'll be coming out, not as the main thing, but they will come out for sets that I really want to do them for. But I see it a lot more as community engagement. Obviously, we'll do some fun stuff. I think live builds will be done in the future. Eventually, I would love to do like a Mask of Light watch along. Do something like that would be sweet. So that's kind of the plans for the future. If you missed the beginning of the stream, the whole, the original start of All Out Brick with the instructions, digital, physical instructions, full sets, which is that Tanta 4 right there. Those got taken down by Disney, so that's no longer a thing. So now it's all just content creation and community engagements, which I love it. So I had Karzani. It's half rebuilt, but I didn't know it was a dude. Tiny Gray. It is rare. You might find like 2 Bricklink listings for it. That new Cole mech looks awesome. That's I think Ninjago. I don't know Ninjago very well. I think some of the sets they come out with are incredible. Like the City Gardens, City Docks. That line is awesome, and if you have like a modular building display, the only one I've got is Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum right there. Those are an incredible addition to that. So I never really got into Ninjago the movies or that. How did you manage to get the initial investment of sealed Bionicle sets to create All Out Brick? So the Jedi Squidward, those weren't, Bionicle wasn't originally the intention with this channel. I was doing the reviews for them. They kind of just took off and continued to do them. But the original ones I had since 2016. So you want to compare the prices. And I think I'm going to do a video in the future comparing what those were worth then and what they are worth now, because they are insanely different budgets. It's crazy. But I had those, and it was COVID. pop them open, let's go, and it turned into Motunui Monday. So that was the story behind that. All right, continuing on, I'm catching up with the chat here. I think I'm a little bit ahead. Would you ever review Mixels? Mixels, I remember them coming out. I wouldn't I'm never going to say no to anything. It's not impossible. It's not something I necessarily planned on, but again, you never know. You never know. I found someone selling good guy and bad guy for 20 euros each in dollars, like 25, worth getting. Off the top of my head, I don't know the value of them. That sounds very reasonable. If they're a new condition, yeah, I think that's a very reasonable price, $25, 2 sealed Bionicle sets. If you don't know good guy and bad guy, they are let's pull them up. they're iconic in the community. So these were poly bags that came out with Bionicle. This is the set. This is real. It's certainly hilarious. G2, good guy, bad guy, man. This is yeah, I would think if they're brand new, that's not bad. Thirsty for Chicken says, the reason I asked about Makuta is because I feel it hasn't been covered much and you do it justice for sure. Thanks, man. I did the shadowed one, which I guess was like an official set still, so those ones certainly could in the future. There's tons of actual Bionicles. I mean, you think like the Sand Tower Kava and stuff like that. So maybe we'll do it. Keep going with the chat here. Are there any LEGO YouTubers you would want to collab with? So when you're referring to collab, Limbo, are you saying like you have them on as a guest here, do a build with them, have some sort of a setup at a convention with them? In the past, Solid Brick Studios did review the actual sets for the instructions I had done for both this one and the UCS Director Krennic's shuttle, which was designed by Cave God. So I did work with him, I guess, for those. I mean, I reached out to him and sponsored a video for it, which great experience. But otherwise, I mean, I love talking to Lego CPA, Brickmaster Harry. I've been talking to a bunch lately. They're great. So I would do any collab with them. Have you ever tried the Bionicle fan-made games? Dude, so where are these? Like, what was it? Mask of Power and Quest for Motunui. I remember the trailers coming out during COVID, and I was so pumped for it. And then they just never came out. Quest for Motunui was the one I was really looking forward to. It seemed like they had the whole soundtrack going. They had all the stops going. But otherwise, no. I've played Motunui online game so much. I want to do Motunui online game too. I haven't done like a full, like actually try to beat that in a long time. Not Today says, impressive stream setup, by the way. Love the pop-up comments. Thank you. This is a plugin that I discovered, and yeah, it was something I wanted to do with the Q&A. Was one of the formats you could do, obviously, is, you know, leave a comment on a video and then could just do like a snipping tool, bring it up or something like that. But then I also wanted to engage with it live, and so that was a lot of the setup, you know, trying to figure out how are we going to do that. But thank you. Are you going to read Bionicle's Shakespeare book? So if you guys don't know what this is referring to, Shakespeare is the last name of the writers for a lot of the Bionicle books, which is hilarious. I always thought it was funny at the end of the Mask of Light that like the first or second name is like directed by like a Shakespeare. It's like watching Shakespeare. I've read all the comics. The books I haven't read since I was like 6, maybe. I need to fresh up on my lore a little bit. What do you think about reviewing canonized Bionicle MOCs? I'd be down for it. If they're sure. Yeah, if they've got instructions and they're not too hard to put together in the future after all the official sets are done, sure. Bethany says, are you going to stream or make a video of Mask of Power like you did with the Motunui online game? That's what I was intending, yeah. That's exactly what I was intending. So I think we've been on here for a little while, so just going to pop this open again. The giveaway QR code, we'll give these away in a little bit at the end of the stream. We've got a Tusken Raider brickhead, a Commander Cody brickhead, and an ATTE Walker, which will be the last one grand prize giveaway. You can, it's for the Continental US only. They're all physical, so just shipping restrictions. In the future, we'll do some digital giveaways like Lego Shop at Home gift cards, Light My Bricks gift cards, stuff like that. That'll be open to really anybody. For this one, the physical prizes are US only, so please just verify that in the form. So this QR code will take you to a form or the link in the description. Just one entry. Putting in multiple entries is not going to help you. I've written in the code that it will pull out any duplicates, so it's not going to boost your chances. You can win more than one. If you win one of them, you can absolutely win another one. No one's stopping you from that. It's just a random selector, but putting in multiple entries is not going to help you. So I'll leave that up there for a couple more seconds here. And again, the link's in the description, so once I pull this QR code off, you can always just click that too. Right. Thirsty for Chicken says, I think even the narrator, geez. I think, are you referring to Quest for Motunui? They did. They got the narrator from the Bionicle commercials, and man, the nostalgia hit from that is just sweet. Destiny says, developers of Mask of Power had to delay their demo due to personal life situation. Oh man, that's never good to hear. Yeah, Quest for Motunui, I forget what came up with that one. But it's a shame because I think they both got the approval from Lego. Jared Jr. says, not sure if I missed it, but do you plan on reviewing any Hero Factory sets? There's no plan in place to do it. I have gotten so many requests for it that not going to put a stamp on it right now, but it's quite possible after all of Bionicle and later into next year. A lot of people have said Hero Factory Fridays, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Bethany says, what Star Wars show or movie are you excited to see next year? Favorite Star Wars show? Favorite Star Wars show is Clone Wars. Definitely. I'm actually rewatching Andor right now, and that's been a blast. There's no movies coming out next year, right? I would assume that Mandalorian Season 4 is coming out next year, and that would be the one I'm most looking forward to. But I don't think we're getting a movie until The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is 2026. It's just about May 2026. Tiny Grass says, I almost did some 3D work for a Quest of Motunui, but didn't have the time. Yeah, I remember when they sent that out. There was so much that they have to do. I remember seeing that. Mandu and Grogu movie is apparently, yeah, I believe it's May 2026. Let's see. Yep, 2026. And essentially that's going to be our Star Wars Avengers movie, right? That's going to be, Ahsoka's going to, or maybe she'll come back, because Ahsoka Season 2 is coming out. That's, Thrawn is back. Oh, you know what? It's been long enough. Spoilers are kind of, if it was The Acolyte, which I haven't started watching yet, so please no spoilers, but, then I'd be a little more concerned. But look, Thrawn's back. We all know that he has to go away at some point because The Force Awakens is still a thing. But that's going to be our Avengers movie, so I'm curious how they're going to lead up to it. So obviously we're going to have Mando, Ezra, Boba Fett will probably be sitting in there, Bo-Katan, I assume, and Mandalore will be thriving. The one thing I do hope is that Moff Gideon is just done. If they bring him back again, no. Just, that's enough for me. I'm done with Moff Gideon. Rex, yeah, Rex needs to be in it too. We know he's alive. Canon, I think they actually said he's the one that's in Return of the Jedi, which is fun. Ahsoka is unofficially Rebel Season 5. Yeah, I mean, it is. It is. You think of how many people are in there, except for, shout out to Kanan. Nothing he can do about that, but yeah, it is. But there's so many references in there. And to be honest with you, I would love to see a Star Wars show come out, and this will probably be the acolyte for me. I guess I have to start watching it. But when Mando season 1 came out, what was so cool about it was all brand new. It was, wasn't tied to any of the existing characters, and I really liked expanding the galaxy from just, the Skywalkers, the Palpatines, and the Hutts, or the Fets. And the Hutts. So that's kind of how I feel about it. So kind of personal, but what do you do for a day job? I am a structural engineer. That is my day job. I'm not on the new design of things. The firm I work for does a lot of restoration design, assessment, that sort of stuff. So I don't sit and do calculations all day. I'm not that kind of structural engineer, but that is my day job. And then All Out Brick has always been just that second. Actually, I guess I can't say always has. During high school and college, it was before it was named All Out Brick, but that was my job, was creating instruction manuals. It was sweet. Is it weird that I think Ahsoka should have just been made in the usual CGI Clone Wars Rebel style? Now, Jared, I don't disagree with you. I've actually come to really like the animated style of everything. I think it lets them do a lot more with the environment, with the actions of characters. I've really come to like it. I think Andor is a great example of what live action Star Wars should be. I think sometimes they push the envelope a little bit too far with the live action, that just looks a little goofy, or they rush things and the CGI doesn't look quite up there. But I think I would like to see more CGI. We obviously had Bad Batch, which was kind of an extension, an epilogue on Clone Wars. But I don't disagree with you that Ahsoka should have just been that way. I mean, I think Rosario Dawson absolutely crushes it as Ahsoka. But it also would have been bad to just have the original in there. Alfonso says structural engineer checks out. It's funny, I always knew that was kind of what I was going to do. When I was very young, I loved Connect's roller coasters. I actually still, I might be able to grab it. I might be able to grab this. So in this studio space, I wanted to include a Connect's roller coaster because that was what I loved doing, aside along with Lego and Bionicle. And so up on the shelf over there, I made this little just section, and this part goes up to the ceiling and kind of looks like it's coming down. So I had done this, but yeah, structural engineer has always been what I wanted to do. Roller coasters when I was a kid was what I wanted to do the most, and then it just kind of naturally worked out this way. Thirst for Chicken says, I have held the opinion of animated Star Wars is the best Star Wars. I don't think it'll ever reach that point for me, but it's really starting to grow on me. I love it. I was definitely one of the people that was like, the Clone Wars cartoon, that's a kid's show. Which, first of all, absolutely untrue. The things that happen in there are not a kid's show. I mean, it is, but there's some, people jumping off buildings in the first season. It's crazy. But yeah, it's absolutely sweet. Let's see here. Bethany says, are you going to wear as engineer from TF2 for Halloween? TF2, I am not familiar with that acronym. Should I be? Legacy PA, welcome in, man. I was hopping into your stream earlier before this one started. You were doing the Speed Champion stream earlier today. The only one I built so far was the James Bond one, the Aston Martin, and then I've got 3 sitting in there in their boxes. The Countach is one of them. Definitely a Ferrari. I can't really see the sides of the box too well, but gotta get on those. But yeah, you were doing that stream earlier. Nice to have you in here, man. Connect's roller coasters are the OG. My bros and I got one for Christmas back in the day. Dude, they were sweet. You remember, I don't know if this is gonna absolutely trigger some nostalgia here. Screaming Serpent, Rippin' Rocket. There's another one, I can't remember the name of it. It was like a surfboard one. It was small, it was blue. Those were sweet. Vertical Vengeance, one of them. Connect's roller coasters are sweet. They take up a ton of space. If you think Lego takes up a ton of space, Connect's roller coasters, but what a blast. I remember just coming up with literal engineering, it's mechanical with trying to make launch systems. I kept trying to make King Dakar. And man, Connect's roller coasters is absolutely sweet. Taylor says, I really hope you upload I'm assuming this vid. I'm super interested in everything. Yeah, no, the live stream's going to be up once it's done. It'll just be stop recording. I'll try to add chapters to it after the fact, but it'll be, all of them will be up. I made a Stay Bricking Show playlist. Have you ridden the Velocicoaster? Not yet. When I was down there in 2018 in Universal, I've only ever been to Universal once. It was not built yet. So that's the next time I'm at Universal. Yeah, gotta do it. Love roller coasters. Would a USPO box in the US count? Oh, so Blake's referring to the giveaway here. I'll throw that QR code up again if you want to enter the giveaway for the Tusken Raider Brickhead, Commander Cody Brickhead, and the ATTE Walker. Yeah, sure. If you can accept packages there, yeah, absolutely, that can count. As long as you can pick up a package. Team Fortress. I don't know. I'll have to take a look into it, but I do need a Halloween costume coming up this year. I think one of those life-size Bionicles would be sweet. If you weren't here earlier when we were showing the, I'll pull it up again. I definitely still have it up here. Man, isn't this just the sweetest thing? Lego CPA, I know I sent this to you and Harry, but this is just the best. This guy's celebrating his 30th birthday. He's, you know, the joints are wearing out, and he's breaking out a bottle of Jack. That's great. That would be a sweet Halloween costume. That would be absolutely sweet. Oh, Lego CPA. So this is jumping back to our Connects conversation. Yeah, you had the Screaming Serpent. Oh, dude. Oh, you had the ball machine too? I never had the ball machine. I never had the Lupin Lizard one or the big orange one. Never had either of those. But Screaming Serpent, man, I actually wanted to have a sealed Screaming Serpent in the studio, and I couldn't find like a good one at all. And so I was like, you know what? I'll just build my Connects roller coaster section. So that was originally going to be a Screaming Serpent. It's funny. Speaking of TF2, do you have any favorite video games? All time, Ratchet and Clank. Love it. I've been playing Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga lately. But Ratchet and Clank would be all time fave for sure. I actually like the EA Battlefronts. I had a good time with them when they came out. Hot take, but I really liked them. Ever get into Exo Force? Not really. I got one set at one point, but I never got into the theme. That was coming out kind of towards the tail end of when I was into Bionicle and Lego originally, and then that kind of waned off, and then in 2013 jumped back in. So there was like a 5-6 year stretch where I wasn't really involved, and I think that was kind of slapped right in there. Grizz says, yo, what's up, dude? David Hernandez says, when did Connects release? I've never heard of them. So just to clear up any confusion, Connects is absolutely not Lego. They were most prominent in early 2000s, late 90s, probably even. I don't know exactly how to describe them. They're definitely more like structure based. Think like engineering workshop, but they were kids' toys. They had some awesome stuff. Look up Connects roller coasters on YouTube. You'll be blown away what people can do. Like a CPA, yeah, you know, you did not miss the giveaway. They're always going to be at the end. I think maybe one will be in the middle in a future stream or something like that. But no, we're always going to do the giveaways at the end. Just to wrap it up. Got to get one of those old. I was a Vizirac one year. There was a green. I gotta find this. Yeah, there it is. Let's see here. This guy. I was that for Halloween one year. And then I want to say there was a who was it? Was it Vakama? Yeah, it was. But that was the same year as the Vizirac, so it definitely wasn't that one. That's hilarious. Do a Monos cosplay. Do you imagine? Just come in like 10 feet wide. A Dr. Nefarious. All right, so someone got the Ratchet and Clank reference. Dude, I think at one point I wanted to build like a whole Ratchet and Clank like world as a mock, and there was one from the original. I think it was Valspar is maybe the name of it. It's the volcanic planet from the first one, and it was like a smaller one. I was like, okay, this could work. I had the idea. I was like, maybe just build like a whole level of Ratchet and Clank out. But never got around to it. But Nefarious, yeah, dude, Dr. Nefarious, that dude was a absolute pain to try to beat. I wish Bionicle's merch wasn't kid size only. I wonder if Bionicle Jam had adult size merch. I wonder if it released today, if they would focus a little bit more, like if they would do like more like hats or like general tees. I mean, you can find tees anywhere. Redbubble, there's so much stuff. But yeah, I wonder too, actually. Akria says, sadly, I gotta go. Awesome stream. Can't wait for the future content. Thanks for coming, man. Awesome having you. I know you were jumping in here since the beginning. Have a great night. Marissa says, are you a cat or a dog person? I'm a dog. I love dogs. I've had labs all growing up. Black lab, then a chocolate lab, now a yellow lab. Love labs. So always had a dog. There's actually a cat in the house as well. So I guess there's both, but definitely if I had to pick one, heart without not even taking a second, dogs. I love dogs. Lego CPA says, hey, Lego had a survey and they asked if people would want merch, and the example they gave was a shirt. Are you kidding me? Oh, that is so sweet. So you're saying we're getting a Tahoe shirt? Oh my god, that would be hilarious. Limbo says, get that doggo in here. I wonder if I can pull a picture of her up here. Wonder if I can find her. I'll try to get it up on the drive here. The yellow lab. Let's see here. Oh, it's gonna be a tough one. Scroll back and find her. Let's see. Here's one. This one will work. All right, let's give me 1 second here. The pup. So this is me and my pup for an Oscars party. We're on the red carpet. So there's me and my pup. There's Callie. She's a blast. She had a red bow tie on to match the red carpet. It was so sweet. Since we're getting Lego Horizon, Sony should let Lego do sets for Ratchet and other classics. I agree. There's still Ratchet and Clank games coming out, and it seems like Ratchet and Clank, like the movie, was a movie based on the game. I never saw it, but I know it was very heavily based on the first one. So, yeah, I think a Ratchet and Clank would be an awesome one. I'm surprised there hasn't been a Lego ideas for it yet. I think that would definitely be. Marissa says 10 out of 10 approved doggo choices. Labs are so great. They're just the best. I love labs. Very heavily biased, but yeah, they're so sweet. Official Mari professional scuba gear. Yeah, that would be sweet. Although I imagine you'd spook the hell out of somebody. Just rise up out of the ocean as Toa Mari. Oscars party. Yeah, man, for the Oscars. I mean, they were much bigger, I feel like, a couple years ago, but yeah, an Oscars party. Watch the Oscars. Red carpet. The blast. I think, so if some of you guys kind of missed what we were talking about earlier, we talked a ton about the set releases that have come out so far this week, the official reveals for the Desert Skiff, Jedi Bob's Starfighter, Ahsoka Tano's battle on Peridea, the fact that LEGO awarded their digital content to Publicis 1, so hopefully some cool collaborations that maybe we're not used to seeing. That'd be awesome. We also talked about the reveal for the Onyx Cinder from the Skeleton Crew. the Jaws set review, and the UCS Razor Crest is on sale. If you missed that, that was probably a big piece of information. So we covered all of that stuff earlier, and then we also talked about my favorite thing of the week was Takanuva cosplay. I think we'll field questions here for like another like 10 minutes or so. Then let's do some giveaways and wrap the stream up. Nerf Kordak launchers. Oh, we need them. We absolutely need those. There is so much. It's amazing to see how much the Bionicle community is still alive, and there are so many opportunities. Like, yeah, for not even just like for Nerf to come up with something, but if I saw like that on Etsy, like, yeah, I'm buying that right away. Like, not even a stop about it. Baragon says bricked up. I think you were the one who left the comment on the post to say bricked up. Oh, no, we were not actually at the Oscars. If I was actually at the Oscars, oh my God, that would be a time. But now it's just a home party. Zamor launcher actually exists. Did it really? Oh, this is an instant Google. I think for this whole time I'll just leave the QR code up. You're telling me there was a real Zamor sphere launcher? Do you know who made it? But it's not Nerfs. Not Today says, when is the next stream? Next Saturday. Generally, they'll be on Saturdays. I don't think the same time slot. This one just kind of worked out. It was the first one, so I was running through a lot of like testing and last minute, like, is this going to work? Is this going to... So I don't necessarily need to go through that whole thing again. So probably will be a little earlier on Saturday. But yeah, the goal is every week. Every week for about 60 to 90 minutes, as long as the news keeps coming in. I'm still looking for this real Zamor sphere launcher. I can't believe you're saying it actually. I'm still looking for it. Oh, is this what you're talking about? I think I found it. I think I got it. Is this what you're referring to? This looks awesome. There's only 3. All right, there's only 3 available. Don't go buy all 3. $100? Jeez. Condition 8 out of 10. Oh, I wonder what those are made out of. Do you think they're just like soft foam balls? Or like, are these like rubber bouncy balls and they're not going to feel too fantastic? That is so sick. Play gear and weapon. Oh, we got to see. What else do they have? All right, there's the costumes. There's some masks. A shield. Oh, they do. Fantokasphere. So they just keep remaking this stuff? Oh. A dart. Oh, so they had a Toamari. Are you kidding me? This is like the greatest thing that we could have stumbled upon. The fact that they make Bionicle Nerf guns. This is sweet. Tell me that this is available. Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair. Look at that. That is so sick. Energized flame sword. All right, I'm gonna have a what's the term for like a weapons closet? I'm gonna have a whole armory of Bionicle weapons. This is a good one. Petition for all the Bionicle YouTubers to collaborate and dress as the Paraka to recreate the music video as the intro before the video. Yeah. That or like the move along, the Onyxa commercial. Did you know that there was actually a part of that storyline where the Onyxa had to free the All-American rejects from a cell? Like, that was a real plot point, which is just so funny. Thirsty for chicken. This is all news to me too. This is all news to me. There's water guns. There's Baraki water guns. So you got Toamari Nerf guns versus Baraki water guns. Okay. Yeah, bro, if there's a surprising amount of toy weapons, yeah. Who would have thought? All right, what do you guys say we do some giveaways? Let's see here. So I'm gonna go ahead. It's gonna just be a little patient with me here as so essentially how these giveaways are gonna work are all of those entries happen, and then I'm just gonna close off the Google form, and then inside of the Google form it links to a spreadsheet, and then we just randomly pick somebody from it, and I'll share my screen when I'm randomly picking. So I just got to set that up a little bit here. Is now I'll close off accepting responses. All right. Now we'll link this over to Sheets. All right, and let's open that up. I can relate, man. You've been listening to them. Thanks. And every time I hear "Move Along," that's what I think of as the Bionicle commercial. Awesome song. Free the band. Yes, this was the campaign. It was the Free the Band campaign. All right, so we've got no duplicates in there, so that is sweet. Let's go ahead and blow this up a little bit here. Hide that. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and let's get a formula here. All right. Form responses in here. So the first thing we'll start out with the, let's bring them out now. Start out with the Tusken Raider brickhead, and we'll go straight into the Commander Cody brickhead. And then, last but not least, we'll do this guy. The ATTE. God, that is taking up a decent amount of space. All right, so let's type in here. So essentially, let's go ahead and in here. Where are we at? I just got to get my my range set here. All right, down to 14. And so after I select one, essentially I'll just type in anything into another cell. And so this is for the Tusken Raider brickhead giveaway to Ev the Wizard. Congratulations, man. And so as I type your name in here, as soon as I update this, this will be the giveaway for the Commander Cody brickhead. And again, there's no restriction on, I mean, Ev the Wizard could win all three. That'd be an insane coincidence, but you can win multiple of them. So as soon as I hit enter here, it'll start to pull the next one. Jack V, congratulations on Commander Cody. And now for the big one. The ATTE. Figured we'd go special for the first episode. We'll have a big giveaway. And now, here we go. For the ATTE random drawing, the winner is Game Set Live. Congratulations, man. Awesome. I actually haven't built this set yet. I'm so jealous that I'm not going to be the one building it. But congratulations, man. Cheesy Studios. Oh, welcome in, Caleb. A little late to the party, but your setup sure looks epic. Thanks, man. Your setup is actually like kind of similar, not with like the plant background, but I know our setups are actually like not too far off. I've seen your tour videos, so I actually, when I was doing this whole setup, it was really funny watching those and being like, oh my god, like, love that Caleb has that too. Yes, congrats to everybody. Congrats, Game Set Live. Yeah, man, you should be pumped. You got the AT-AT. Congrats to Ev the Wizard for the Tusken Raider, and then the Commander Cody brickhead to Jack V. Let's do another 3 minutes. We'll finish up at 9:30 Eastern time here for just general Q&A or chat. And this has been an awesome first episode. Thank you guys. There's been a ton of news this week, and then we kind of worked our way into the natural Bionicle talk. But I'm looking forward to see just it feels like Lego just does not run out of news. Cheesy Studios. It's a configuration that works pretty well. Yeah, I mean, it's something that yeah. It's you are you have so much space for your mock parts, though. That's something I definitely don't have, though, Caleb, is you have this insane amount of mock. If you guys haven't seen Caleb's stuff, he does a ton of Lego Minecraft stuff. Obviously, Lego Master Season 2 finalist. And you'll be blown away. I love your throwback reviews as well. You've done like entire theme waves, like you did the Life on Mars one. That was awesome. So if you're looking for, like, a lot of you guys ask me questions like, oh, will you do this theme? Will you do that theme? You might be able to find that Caleb Cheesy Studios has actually covered those already. So I would say definitely check out his channel for some more throwbacks of those as well. Thirsty for Chicken says Bionicle giveaways next. Yeah, absolutely. That was one I went to the Lego store. They don't have any Bionicle, but yeah, maybe for next time we'll do something with Bionicle. The tough part is Bionicle is not cheap. Maybe that good guy that someone said they found for $20, but we can't be giving away crazy amounts. Lego CPA says can't wait to rewatch this to catch up on the Bionicle talk. Yeah, man, there was definitely quite a bit of it. I can't wait. I gotta go check out the rest of your stream because you did a whole Speed Champions ranking and I didn't. I'm behind on that theme, so I gotta catch up. Do you have a P.O. box for fan mail? Not at this time, no. I'll keep you updated on that if it changes. But man, I appreciate that. Thanks, Limbo. Bruv says, I don't usually watch streams, but I enjoyed this episode. Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining. You've been in here for a long time. David says, can't wait for the next live. Hopefully I'm luckier. Hey, man, algorithms are... As long as you're in it to win it, then you've got a chance. GZ Studios says, so lucky too. This is a rental of all things, but looking forward to looking back on this whole episode. I'm lucky to be. Hopefully I'll be able to join in from the start next time. Yeah, that'd be great to have you here. I think the start time will probably be a little bit earlier in the Saturday. Not necessarily 8 o'clock, but especially since Lego CPA, I know that's your time slot. 8 p.m. is CPA's time slot, so we're gonna try to break that up a little bit better. If there's any crossover, try not to cause any crossover there. They say Cardigoth9 says, I am going to say it. I genuinely hope that one day, just out of the blue, Lego drops 6 new Bionicle Titan sets to kick off a new Bionicle revamp. Man, you and me both, man. I think the Toa are an absolute must. Who knows one day? You never know. And the Bionicle community is strong as ever. Are you watching Jaws tonight? What is it, 9:30? We got plenty of time. Maybe. I don't know. There's still... I'm almost done Endor. So, maybe not. Not today says, glad I got to be part of the first stream. Wish you success. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate all you guys that did hop on for this first one. Like I said, I know we're going to get used to it. The flow will get better. The transitions will get a little bit better, a little bit more natural. Tech will get a little fancier. We'll have guests on in the future. Looking forward to that. So, but thank you all for joining in on this first one. This was so great to stumble upon. I just rewatched all the Montanui Mondays a few weeks ago and hope working on my... Oh, dude. Thanks for watching that whole... Yeah, you're not going to run out of Montanui Mondays, and we're going to be coming back in a month. They'll be coming back in a month with 2. Anyways, 9:30 now. I think it's about time to end the stream. Full 90 minutes here. Thank you guys all so much for hopping in on this first one. Appreciate it. Love the community aspect of getting to go back and forth with you guys. Answer questions that I'm sure some of you guys have left in comments of videos that maybe I didn't get to. I try to answer all of them. But this was a blast. I'm looking forward to the next one next Saturday, a week from today. Hopefully we have a lot to talk about during the week. I think we're just about out of Star Wars sets for the rest of the year, so it might be a little bit more variety next week if Star Wars isn't your number one theme. But thank you guys again. Appreciate having you guys in here. Until next time,